Hello, friends. What an amazing view. So grateful that I've been here a little even longer than Ben, every Domopalooza, and have been able to shake hands with a lot of people who have been here a long time as well. So it's really fun for me to look out, to be live again, and I'm really excited to introduce our next customer interview. This person has a lot of passion, and this is really a story of scale, not only scale for the organization, but a scale with Domo within that organization. And so I want to introduce Mike Zierhut, who's the SVP of Global BI and Finance for Allied Universal Services. At the company, this is really amazing. He's helped them manage a $20 billion business, if you can believe that. He's passionate about creating a data-driven culture and uses analytics to underpin all of their decision-making, and it is truly making a business impact. So please join me in welcoming Mike to the stage. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you, thank you.
I don't know if you know this, but you were nominated for an award last night.
No.
Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Well, why don't we pull up a picture and let our audience guess what the award might be?
Oh, geez.
Is anybody having a problem nominating or giving the award for the best fit to Mike here for last night? Thanks for coming to play.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, what an amazing night.
The runner-up was Josh. He had a pretty amazing outfit.
As always.
As always. Yeah, for sure. Well, Mike, really appreciate you joining us here at Domopalooza. You've been a customer for a long time, and was really interested to get to know your story and more about you. But tell the audience and all of us a little bit more about your role at Allied.
Yeah, happy to. Again, thanks for having me here. I've been at Allied now for just over 10 years, so it's been quite a ride. I've held many roles through that time, both in finance and in our IT infrastructure business intelligence space. So, you know, what I kind of think about my role, I think about it really about enabling business performance management, and obviously using Domo and other systems that we support on the finance side to make that happen. So it's been quite an experience and a fun ride, not only within the company, but with Domo as well. We've been 8 years together.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
There's maybe a lot of people, as a $20 billion company, there's maybe a lot of people that don't know a lot about Allied. Why don't you give us a little bit of background about Allied and who they are?
Yeah. So again, been there for 10 years. So when I started, we were probably around $300 million in revenue, and here we are today at $20 billion. So it's been a crazy story of growth.
Okay, let me just back up. 300 million to 20 billion, and how long?
In roughly 10 years, yeah.
I picked the wrong company.
We've got a pretty incredible CEO. He's got quite the vision, and it's a great company to work with. Yeah. So we've grown. We're now 800,000 employees globally. And back in 2021, we did one of our largest acquisitions of an international company based out of the UK, which really gave us our true global footprint across the globe, and now operating in over 100 countries. So, it's often thought of many people don't know Allied Universal, and when I hear this all the time after now that you have heard about them, you'll notice this everywhere, right? You'll notice it at the airport or at the homeowners association or anywhere and everywhere. Or the concierge at a lot of the commercial real estate high rises that you'll walk into, and you'll probably notice that as early as tomorrow walking through the airport.
So we've all seen Allied in the last 24 to 48 hours.
Yep.
What you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, with such a large presence in the world, I would imagine that managing people across all these countries is a real challenge. So how have you been able to leverage Domo to help with such an expansive business?
Yeah. Obviously scalability is the name of the game as we've had this tremendous growth. Using Domo in that business performance management aspect has been a game changer. It allows us to distribute the data to the individuals in the organization that can make a difference and actually pull the levers that will drive the results that we're challenged to provide. So, using Domo in that aspect, and we have over 13,000 users in our Domo platform, and our decision makers are very distributed throughout the world. Really even at the site level, and we have hundreds of thousands of sites, and providing them the ability to see the metrics that are very important to the business and how they're performing against those metrics and what they can do to improve those metrics has just been a game changer. So the scale and distribution that Domo has enabled us to do has been a game changer. Automation of the management of the tool. We do this all with just 10 people. Both internationally and in our North America footprint.
I was going to ask, how many people does it take to manage this? You're talking 10 people? Did I miss a zero?
Yeah, no, you didn't. Yeah, but we truly do democratize the data, right? So we have our team here on premise that is making sure the data pipelines are working, making sure that the infrastructure and the user management and the PDP models, everything's in place. And we do a lot of the advanced development and support the team. But we have functional major Domos throughout the company everywhere. I think I should know this, but I think we have over 100 editors in the company distributed throughout the world. So very powerful tool.
I know a lot of people have asked me just the scale, like how do you scale that, over these years, how have you scaled it and rolled it out and trained it? Like, could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I like to think about it kind of like as a stool of three legs, right? We talk about data and tools, obviously my wheelhouse, and very important table stakes to be able to, do the business performance management that we're trying to do. But that in and of itself is not going to make changes, right? And so we have to wrap process. That's another leg of the stool. Make sure we have process in the business to use those tools appropriately. And then the third is accountability and leadership and buy-in and making sure that we're driving the metrics and the processes that we want to use. And without all three of those, we would never have impacted the business like we have. And the partnership with leadership, common phrase in the company is, I know there's a Domo card for that. Yeah. So everybody uses it cross-functionally, and it's just been a great yeah. tool and to really help us scale.
Amazing story that you've been able to. I mean, most large organizations have pushback in one department or another, and to see that you're all marched on the same team. So maybe you have had some issues.
No, it's really, going back to day one when we chose Domo. You think about the growth that we've gone through. We didn't have a lot of infrastructure. We didn't have a lot of technical debt. We didn't have a data warehouse. We didn't have anything. And as I came in and sort of driving a lot of that, it was a great opportunity. We didn't have any competition, and everything was able to be on, the Domo operating platform, right? It is the operating platform that we run.
That's awesome. It sounds like you use Domo for a lot more than just data visualization. What are some of the cool ways that you're using Domo and the different components of Domo platform that you're using?
Yeah, lots of different aspects. Yeah, it's certainly not just data visualizations, right? Like I said, we have processes and things. So we've built a lot of custom apps. One of them, it was a P&L app, right? So if you think about those 13,000 users across the globe, we want them to see, and because our business is so distributed, each of our sites is really its standalone P&L, right? And so being able to view each site where we can truly pull levers and make differences in the profitability of the company, allows us to distribute that data with that app, drill through the hierarchies of the app and everything, filter, and then apply PDP so that the lens that somebody's looking through is their book of business. So that's one area that's been extremely impactful. There's staying in the finance lane, we've also built a custom app around AR and collections. Every invoice that is past due is must have a plan and a customer contact to understand how we're, what's going on with the invoice and what we need to do to collect on it. HR is another area where we've built tools. 800,000 employees. Our turnover is 60+% a year, right? So we're constant. It's obviously a core competency that we must have as recruiting and hiring. And we have all sorts of processes, and we don't necessarily use a custom app for this, but just tools and pages and processes around it to make sure people know where they need to hire, when they need to hire. Are people doing the interviewing, and are we getting traction in the areas that we need? And that has made a tremendous impact in how effective our hiring and retention and recruiting have been.
Is there anything you've seen in the last day here that you're excited about to kind of expand on?
Well, obviously AI is a really, really neat tool, and we're using it in various aspects of the business. We have, within Domo itself, we have a prediction model that we partnered with Domo to build to help us understand, hey, this invoice may become past due. Please, take action and take a look at it. And that's a very effective model. And if you think about what AI can do to enable our company at scale, it's just going to be a game changer. So
yeah, I agree. Well, it's amazing what you've done there. Been a Domo customer for over 8 years and almost 10,000 users. What an amazing partnership. I want to thank you for that partnership. Kind of as your parting thoughts here, and with all of your experience, what's the one thing you would leave today with the audience about how to get the most value out of the Domo platform?
Oh, man. Looking back, that three-legged stool, I think is so important, right? So I would challenge everybody to make sure, you don't want to build tools that nobody's using, right? And it may be the best tool, it could be the best tool, but if there isn't buy-in and leadership's not using it, it's no good. So making sure that you have everything collaborating on, and everyone collaborating on that tool, and you have the leadership buy-in and the organization using it is critical. And then, like I said, Domo is our operating platform. We bring metrics from so many transactional systems, so many third-party vendors. We collect data from our internal, employees all the time, action plans and the like. And, from a management perspective, we operate our entire business off of Domo. And, I know a lot of you have, fragmented business intelligence platforms. We have we're lucky because of that technical debt, and we kind of came up through the evolution, and we're able to really hone in on just one site, Domo, and run the business.
What a great story. Thank you so much for sharing today. Appreciate you being with us.
You bet. Thanks, everybody.
Great.